All right, y'all. So we're back for probably the final tutorial, though if I get an influx of questions, I'll make another one. Sorry this is coming out so much later than the other ones. The system crashed on me yesterday, as some of you already know, and I couldn't show you the features that I need to show you. So today, as the title says, we're going to go over how to have the system automatically drop grades, how to back up and restore your gradebook in case of a super humongous crash, and we're going to look at the reports. So the first thing we're going to do is look at how to drop grades. So we're going to go to Manage Gradebook. So we can click this part here, or we can click on the class and go over to this part to go to Manage. We're going to go to Edit Gradebook. Actually, we also could have gone to Options, but it doesn't really matter. It's the same screen. And we're going to go to Rules. So we're going to add a rule, and these are the rules for dropping grades. So this is the day we want it to drop. So, probably the last few days of the grading period for the drop. So the number of lowest to drop, this is how many of those grades we want to drop. So probably one, but I don't know how many grades you're going to get in. So the type, this doesn't matter. We're going to leave it blank. But this is very important. I didn't have time to reset the categories. Our categories should be daily and test. So if you want to drop a daily grade, let's just say homework for right now. And then we're going to select which term we want it for. Remember, when we do this, we're going to have a spring term and a fall term because we have 2 semesters for our credit. So it's currently fall, so we're going to click the fall term. So this date range is crazy important. Just like I emphasized on the previous video, if you don't have your date range correct on your assignments, you're not going to be able to get the correct date range for your drop. So you need to make sure the first day in your date range at least includes the first assignment you'd be willing to drop, and the same for the last date in the date range. So you're going to click those. We're going to do score percentage. I don't know what the negative weight does. And then replace. You can replace with nothing. You can replace great best score. So if they had 100, the grade you're replacing turns to 100. Replace with the average score, it replaces with the average grade they already have. So say the student, if you drop the grade, the student then has like a 72, so it'll plug a 72 in there. And then this is the minimum number of grades you need to have inside of that category for you to be able to drop. So you would need to do 11, and I'm not exactly sure why the menu isn't showing everything as it did the last time. But this is an 11. You're going to want to make sure you have at least one more grade than the requirement so we don't get in trouble with the district. And then update. And this, oh, wow, let me do without a date range. That's a little dangerous. So, boom, you can do that. And then you can add another rule. So if you want to do it for your test grades as well, you can do however you're going to do with that. So that is how you drop grades automatically in the system. So the next thing we're going to do is the restore and the backup. So what are backups? If for whatever reason the system crashes super hard, we should be able to back up our stuff. But before you can have a backup, so we'll be able to back up the stuff. So that just means saving it. So if you just did a whole bunch of grading, you're going to select backup gradebooks. So you can click up here to select all, and it does it. So if later on the system crashes really, really hard, make sure you have load into a new gradebook selected. If you don't load into a new gradebook, you're going to overwrite what you already have, which sometimes might cause glitches. So you're better off loading into a new gradebook. So you're going to go next. So here you can select the teacher. I don't know why you would select a different teacher's gradebook to back up for your own, but you can. And then this, you're going to select which class you want to do. And here are your backups. You can name it in the comment box. Let me go back to the backups. If we add a comment here, that information will show up when we go to restore. You also have the date of when it was saved. So next, and then you're going to want to save all of this, and then click Restore Gradebook. You can add a gradebook description, but it's not required. So I'm going to uncheck these things because it's going to take a while to load. But when you do this, you're going to want them all to be selected. Like I said, even with one, it's going to take a while to load, but I'm going to pause to spare you that time. All right, so the selected gradebook is restored. Please review. All right, so bam. We're going to go back to our dashboard. So now we're going to look. This is tan. So this is the one that we restored. If you don't put anything, it's going to say it's the restored one. So what we then do, if everything looks good inside of Spring, we will go into Manage Gradebook, our options, doesn't matter where, and you're going to delete it because you have the new one. I'm not going to delete it because I didn't copy everything over that I was supposed to, but that's what you will do. And then last but not least, the reports. This is super duper important for us. It's going to make our lives a lot easier. So you can click reports inside of the class or from the dashboard. It doesn't matter which. So I'm going to go over the highlights of the ones that I think you're going to find important. You can select all of your classes or just one. Sorry, all of your periods or just one. This email link, when we set up the gradebook, our emails should be on there so we can have it send the information to ourselves, but it's going to make a PDF anyway, so most of us want to click none. Include scores of zeros. That might be important to see. And we're going to sort by assignment number, due date. That's pretty straightforward. So I just want to see one so we can, oh no, I need to look at two of these. One of those doesn't have grades on it, I think. View report, nice little PDF screen. So this is going to give us the big five. This is going to give us some quick data about each of our assignments. Max attempts, have you finished grading it? Max, min, average, median, mode, variance, standard deviation, and average deviation. If you don't know what those numbers mean, you probably don't use them, so it's fine. Contact someone in your math department that might be able to help you out. So this is some quick data. So then we're going to get some data from another place. I need to exit out of full screen mode. All right, and then it creates a new tab. All right, so you can close, you can download, it goes back to where you were before. So here's another report that's nifty. Gradebook assignments by students. This is going to be the thing that a lot of us are looking for and what we want to do. You select which of your periods you want, you select which assignments are included. So now we're going to the options. You can put a comment to yourself to know what the report is. You can order it just the same. You can sort by name or ID. Custom sort, I haven't played with it, but you're free to. So signature line, if we're going to send this home to the parents as a sort of impromptu progress report. You can make it to where it only shows if the student has finished the assignment as opposed to showing the grade. And then you can change the percentage of what students you see. Show assignment comment. If you've been putting comments inside of your gradebook, this is going to print out. Maybe you want the parents to see that. Maybe you don't. Not sure. Email to parents. I don't know how well those features are going to work, but that's what it's supposed to do. But I don't think it's going to. I don't know if it's going to sort by student per parent or if it's going to send to everyone everything. I don't really have a way of testing that out from what I currently have access to. So boom, here's all the information. We're looking at Abbott, Allen, James, and we're going to scroll down. We're going to see all their stuff, all their grades at the very bottom. That has the category breakdown. Again, we're only going to have two. It's going to give them all the information. Boom, signature for the parents, and that's the same for all the students in the class. The last report that we're going to do is missing assignments. Actually, there's two more. Sorry, there's two more reports. The last one is missing assignments. So it's the same interface as before, but there's going to be a slight difference here. You can select this to print only students with missing assignments. Again, completion checks instead of scores. You're going to want to make sure you have the page break on for each student so they're separate. screens, view report, boom. We're looking pretty good. Only one student has a missing assignment out of that class. Pretty nice to know. Then we have the signature line at the bottom for them to sign, excuse me. And then this last report, gradebook roster. Some of you do this, some of you don't. You can have empty box at the bottom, let's say 2, number of extra lines, let's say 10, and let's show our birthday so we can make them feel special when they walk in the door. So we have these spaces to put information. We can add as many of these as we need. We have these extra lines at the bottom. I don't know why you might want them. Maybe you have other students coming in. So that's all the reports. And then just a reminder, if it's a report, if we go here, we can go back to home. Boom, this is our home page. If we go to reports, gradebook, we can do any of the reports that we just did. All right, I hope this tutorial series has helped you out. If you have questions, you can shoot me an email, anorman@nisd.org. Peace.